Hey everyone, it's Mariana, and yes, today I am here with a movie review. You guys have been asking me to bring back movie reviews for a while now, and I do have some things in mind for older releases, but I knew it was going to take something special for me to get back into reviewing new movies. Well, I saw Rocketman and it was pretty damn special, so I guess we can all thank Taron Egerton, Dexter Fletcher, and Elton John for this one. Let's talk about Rocketman. The first thing you need to know about Rocketman is that it is wonderful and you should absolutely go see it in theaters. I loved it and I cannot wait to see it again. Okay. But really, the first thing you need to know about Rocketman is that this is a musical. It is somewhat of a biopic since it's based on Elton John's life and career in the 70s and 80s, and it touches on his childhood as well, but it is far from your basic rock star biopic. While it does eventually end up hitting some of those expected biographical movie beats, it still feels very fresh and different because it tells his story in an unconventional way. Going into this film, I knew singing was going to be involved, of course, but I did not realize the songs would actually serve to illustrate what's going on, or that almost the entire cast was going to end up singing to some extent, or that there were going to be plenty of choreographed sequences. You know, things that you would expect to see from a musical, and I do love that that's the route this movie took. The end result is fun and creative and funny and beautiful and emotional. The film tells its story through dialogue and songs, but also through its use of color and even through some magical realism. This sparingly used magical realism was actually one of my favorite things about the film. It is there to convey feelings and emotions beyond what you would normally see on screen. And while it may take some viewers by surprise at first, it fits so well into the overall style and does exactly what it's meant to do. To put it simply, it just works. Something else that comes along with Rocketman being a musical is that it doesn't particularly concern itself with being 100% chronological and factual. The director, Dexter Fletcher, made a deliberate choice to focus on what Elton John's life felt like rather than how and when exactly things happened or certain songs were written. You will find plenty of fact-checking articles about this movie online, and while you may initially be interested in where the line between fact and fiction lies, I know I was, if you're judging this film based on factual accuracy, I am afraid you're missing the point. The example Fletcher himself gives is, we know he wasn't a troubadour, but it's really trying to communicate what that felt like, not just the fact that he was there. So yes, he took liberties and he crafted the story to illustrate specific points cinematically and musically, but taking this creative license was exactly what Elton John wanted him to do. Thematically, Rocketman deals a lot with loneliness and our very human need for love, whether it's love of our parents and family, or romantic love, or true friendship, or love and acceptance of your own self, or the love and admiration of many not being a substitute for meaningful personal relationships. However, as one of the quotes of the movie goes, real love's hard to come by, so you find a way to cope without it. The flip side here, as you can imagine, is self-destruction, which the film doesn't shy away from or romanticize. Hell, the whole thing starts with Elton John showing up in a rehab and telling his story almost as a confession from this burnt out and vulnerable perspective. Of course, it's impossible to talk about Rocketman without talking about the cast in general and Taron Egerton in particular. And in case you weren't already in love with Taron Egerton, this movie will get you there. If you've seen Kingsman, you already know how charming and fun to watch he can be. But in this role, he has a lot more emotional depth to work with. It also turns out he can really sing. Not only does he do all of his own singing here, but apparently some of it was actually recorded live on set. Basically, if he does not get an Oscar nomination for this role, you will hear me complaining about that snub next January. The rest of the cast is great as well, with particularly strong performances from Jamie Bell as Elton John's lyricist and friend Bernie Taupin, and Bryce Dallas Howard as his mother, Sheila, who is so convincingly awful. It's amazing. So, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I absolutely loved Rocketman. Any issues I had with it were pretty minor. Mainly, they had to do with a couple of scenes having some pacing issues. Very, very minor, as I mentioned. It just seemed a little bit off, but there was nothing in this film that I could really pinpoint as a big problem. Also, I really appreciated that they went with an R rating and it didn't really feel like they had to compromise on anything. For me, this was such a wonderful and magical theater experience, a very emotional experience as well, and I would highly, highly recommend you go see it. It's a lot of fun and it's definitely unlike the biopics you're used to. And the music, of course. The music is wonderful, which really goes without saying. I ended up giving Rocketman 4.5 out of 5 stars, and I am very much looking forward to watching it again. That's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you've seen this movie, let me know what you thought of it in the comments below, and let me know what your all-time favorite biopic is. If you enjoyed this video, which I really hope you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!